Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Screen Rot Podcast, the podcast where we discuss the weirdest and worst content that's been on our screens and indeed our minds. Shout out to everyone who subscribes on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. Big love to the people who subscribe on YouTube. And of course, a massive shout out to everyone who pays their way on Patreon, from the Illuminati who wear their rotter caps and the Freemasons on $3.99 a month. And most importantly, a big wink and a kiss mwah, to ladies who listen, who are indeed some of the most gorgeous and sexy ladies in the United Kingdom. I'm here with Jake Farrell.
Can I just also say,
yes,
to shout out Eugene, who is helps us out with social media. We're pretty sure he's been sent by God.
He's unreal,
and he's the last piece of the Screen Rot puzzle, Team Screen Rot, which is currently me, you, Mango the cat, and Eugene.
Well, I was about to say we've kind of swapped Mango out for Eugene. You don't see much of Mango. You don't hear too much of Mango. I was actually. When did Mango disappear? Sort of end of summertime, wasn't it? We moved into the studio.
Yeah, right.
And young Mangs didn't follow us.
Thank God. Mango was unable to.
You say thank God. I was, for the live show in August, I was going to bring her.
Yes. That would have been awesome.
My girlfriend was like, that's fucking nuts. She was like, that's mental. You're going to just bring a cat to a comedy club.
I think she didn't know what else was on the show.
One of the, I think maybe the second time we were in here, in the studio, I was like, it would be quite funny if I brought her to the studio.
Yeah, because I was feeling like I'd kind of made it out by then. I was been lured into a false sense of security. If you'd managed to bring Mango at that point, I would have, all of the trauma would have reemerged.
No, you're not safe. Here she is, pregnant, maybe. She's constantly maybe pregnant, maybe not. I think so. My girlfriend's a midwife. She's obsessed with having babies with me. Mad, but horny. But no, who isn't? Everyone. But no, she's obsessed with the idea the cat's pregnant every time I come home. And I swear she times it with when I've had like a long day or a rough day or I've got a lot on. She'll be like, oh, you know, the cat's pregnant. It's like, would you fucking stop, man?
Yeah, I'm already stressed.
I went on holiday recently to try and de-stress.
Oh, mate.
Would you believe?
Jacob Larry David Hawley, once again, stumbled into a... Do you want to talk about it, or is it going to be too much?
Well, yeah, we'll dip in. Look. It was my best mate, his little boy's birthday. So months ago, he was like, look, for my little boy's birthday, why don't we all go away together? So we were like, sweet. Thinking there'd be a WhatsApp group and where should we go? Who fancies a bit of this? Who likes this?
Right.
Rather than that, it was like, right, we've booked it. Here's the link. You guys book yourself up. I was like, okay. Okay. 5-star, apparently, in Antalya.
Okay.
In Turkey. Now, I'm going to be very careful because there was, like... It was bad.
It was bad. I think we can all agree on that.
Bad. The place was bad. But there was other English people who were there who were like, yeah, it's bad. I was like, yeah, it's bad. And they were like, Turkey's a shit. I was like, no. And but the reason why is it's like, well, I don't think you can say it's like someone going to like the worst hotel in Scunthorpe and be like, "Oh, England's a shithole." It's like It's like going to like the worst bit of Benidorm and be like, "Oh, those fucking Spanish people. What are they up to?"
There's people in Barcelona going, "This is not the same thing."
It started bad. Like, we flew out and we didn't take a bank card with us.
Okay, so we got interesting. It's an interesting tactic.
Oh man, I just you just think tap tap tap. Do you know what I mean? You just think everyone's,
you think phone.
Everyone's tap tapping. Do you know what I mean? I was fucking tapping at the airport, I'll tell you that. 35 quid for 2 breakfasts and 2 beers. Yeah. Anyway, so we get
no bank card with you.
No bank card. We get a cab from the airport to the hotel, and then we're like, "Oh mate, can I, tap?" The taxi was like, "No." I was like, "Oh fuck it, now we haven't got a car."
Do you tend to agree that before the taxi pulls away? I think.
No,
you got 2 kids to be fair. You got other stuff on anyway.
Nearly 1 a.m. He drops my missus and the kids at the hotel, drives me up and down this main road, stopping at ATMs, and I'm like, I don't know, do you want me to put my phone in the card slot? There's a lot of that. And then there was like this, and then we were like, look, our friends are flying out tomorrow. If you collect them tomorrow, they've got a bank card. Can you, okay.
Double whammy.
An hour later, it's like, nearly 2 a.m. We're like, right, okay, now we can finally, because he just wouldn't leave us alone. So we're like, now we can check in. Go check in, they can't check us in. And then we realised that the guys dropped us at the wrong hotel. So he takes us in. Anyway, next day, as we say, my mate is supposed to be coming out with his kid. Yeah. It was the boy's birthday. We wake up to messages from my mate. They wouldn't let us through passport control. Why? Well, the birthday boy's got a hole in his passport. What? Yeah, we had a power cut 4 years ago, just after he was born. Left his passport next to a candle. burnt a hole in the front of the passport. They've somehow managed to travel since. But
Did they say that he'd burnt a hole in his passport? Were they trying to blame him?
No, what apparently they did do, because there was other pals of ours who did make it out who were supposed to be flying with them.
Right.
Apparently they told passport control people, they were like, the thing is, we had a power cut and we left the passports next to a candle. And the passport control people were like, what the fuck are you talking about? So bless his heart, the birthday boy didn't even make it. We're there, and it's, I don't want to, but it's like the people who chose the holiday didn't even have to endure the shit resort, which was a fucking kicker. Second night, we've had all this drama. Second night, my missus wakes me up middle of the night and goes, Jakey, a spider went over my hand. It's like 4 a.m.
It's never a good wake up call.
I don't know about you. Did your girlfriend ever wake you in the night?
No, not really stuff like that.
Well, I guess as parents of very young children who move around,
frequently
we have a lot of conversations at night, and I'm a different person. I'm not much fun. I've said some horrendous. I've said some things.
Mistakes have been made.
Oh, mate, and I don't remember the amount of times she's like, "Do you know what you said to me last night?" I'm like, "No," and she's like, "You told me to go get fucked." I don't remember. Anyway, apparently I did say to her, I was like, what do you want me to fucking do? Because she was like, a massive spider ran over my hand.
Yeah.
Next morning, she's like, right, you need to find this spider. It might still be in it. It was running over my hand. I was in bed with one of the kids. It's not on. I was like, okay. I was like, look, darling. You and the kids get out of here. Either me or the spider will leave the room. I'm backing myself, right? But I was like, before you go, let me have a little look under the bed. Had a look, and I was like, right, fuck that. I was like, you're not leaving me on my own. This has to be a joint effort.
Right.
Put the kids on the top bunk of the bunk beds. We're going to do this together because it looks huge.
Okay.
And I don't like big spiders.
No, who does?
Lifted out of the bed. It was a rat. Rat's in the room.
Oh, fucking hell.
Phoned, and I have to say, right, and this is again not Turkish, but people, the hotel staff of Antalya, they don't give a fuck. They couldn't give a monkeys.
They weren't sympathetic
about anything. Like when we had the wrong hotel and we were like, well, can you help us get a taxi to a new hotel? They just shrugged at us. 2:30 a.m. with 2 kids, they couldn't care less. At no point were they trying to get a good review, a tip. They couldn't care less.
Right.
We phoned them being like, hi, there's a rat in the room. They literally said, what do you want us to do? When my girlfriend started going mad, they just hung up. Hung up. It's mad.
So how did they get the rat out in the end?
I found like cleaning stuff, and I was like Google translating the word rat into Turkish.
Imagine that. Imagine you're doing your rounds, cleaning the hotel rooms of Antalya, and who's that coming down the hallway towards me? Top off, tats out, hair
wavy don,
tapered and two-sword like Donald Trump. And what's that he's got in his hand? Oh, it's the Google Translate app. Is he asking me to translate? How do I get money out for a tip?
Fada. That's how you say it. Fada.
Well, that's rat.
That's right. And the way they went.
Not again.
Exactly. It wasn't like, what? It was like, oh, again.
Yeah, that's when you know you're not in a great place.
Yeah,
when you go, there's a rat in my room, and they don't go, you're fucking joking.
I've just done a rat. Anyway, yeah. They opened the doors, they put a bit of fucking poison on the floor. Every time we came in or out of the room, I had to do rat check.
Nice.
Yeah.
Came back later, there was just a little trail of cheese from under the bed out of the door.
There was just some fucking rat under the bed on a laptop leaving a 2-star review going, there's some fucking Arsenal fan in my room, won't stop filming himself moaning about Man United. Can't get a wink of sleep. Anyway, a couple of things. We should say the tickets for our live Christmas special in North London at the Bill Murray are going to go on sale for Patreons tomorrow. If you want to be first dibs, if you want to get first dibs at those tickets, sign up to the top tier of the Patreon, the $5.99 a month one. You will get a free hat, you'll get 2 extra episodes a month, and you'll get priority tickets for this. 8 days' time, the ticket's going to become available to the rest of the patrons, the $3.99ers. After that, they're going to go on general sale. I predict there will be none left.
That's
my bold prediction.
Wonderful in a way.
We got a lot of them now, so I don't think there's going to be many tickets left. If there are any tickets left after that, so 2 weeks tomorrow they're going to go on general sale. I don't think that will happen. I think they'll be sold out. If not, it'll be available then. If you want to make sure you get some tickets, $5.99 a month or go $3.99 a month, I reckon $3.99ers will be all right. Let's see. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, if you've known this podcast for a while, you'll know that every now and then, every sort of 2 or 3 episodes, I don't mind giving it away a little bit early this week, I'll turn to you and I'll say, I'm worried about Bivo. I've been saying it for a while. I'm worried about...
If you've been here for the long
Beavo.
haul, you'll know that our concern levels for Bevo are off the charts.
I think about him all the time.
I think about him more than is healthy.
Yeah.
And by that I mean at all.
Now, I'm trying to count how many Rot revisits we've done. How many times have we gone back and revisited an old
We
topic?
have revisited Ahmed Yaqub.
Yes.
We definitely revisited someone else as well.
The American guy locked in, Davis
Clark.
So this would be our third return. The first
It's
time,
really the heavyweights that get revisits, isn't it?
yeah, and I think Beavo's a heavyweight man. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Ring a ding a ding. I don't know why I did that. This week, ladies and gentlemen, we are revisiting the man, the myth, the legend, Beavo. Oi, get on this, mate.
I'm so worried, man.
Get.
I'm so worried. Some people are worried about the state of Middle East geopolitics. Some people are worried about putting food on the table for their kids. I'm worried about Bevo.
Well, yeah. This week, we're returning to Beavo.
Where do you start?
The kid's having a mare. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
I think it's nearly a year since we first visited
possibly.
the world of Beavo. You
Quite
don't have your phone on your. You haven't got a way of finding out when we last. Because I think it might almost be a year to the day.
Yeah, I think it's like a year to the day that we actually started the YouTube
When
channel.
we
So it's
went
not far
for
off.
Beavo was fucking king. Beavo, he couldn't swallow his roast potatoes.
Yeah.
He was eating all sorts. He had a different girlfriend at the time, and they were very happy together.
They were.
Beavo, he was massive. He was on top of the world. I remember there was TikToks about him. There was all sorts. He was. I remember last Christmas, people being like, Beavo should do the Queen's speech instead of the actual Queen. Was it 1st of December? We did Beavo.
We spoke about him on the 25th of January.
Okay, so it's a little bit longer ago than that.
Yeah.
First, the numbers tailed off for Beavo.
First they came for Bevo and I said nothing.
Yeah. I mean, look, what's happened to this kid? HS Tiki Toki. It's saying their names just
It's
feels
not good, is it?
horrendous,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It's mental. HS Tiki Toki stole his girlfriend. Stole his ex-girlfriend.
In theory.
Yes. HS Tiki Toki claimed to make an OnlyFans video with his ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
That wasn't true.
Right.
He got a new girlfriend. She's an OnlyFans model.
Mm-hmm.
She's quite a busy OnlyFans model.
Right.
He signed up to Misfits, the kind of mad boxing influencer boxing thing. He was supposed to fight a guy called Danny Aarons.
Mm-hmm.
He pulled out of the fight with Danny Aarons due to claiming he needed shoulder surgery. He's then spent a lot of the last year, as the numbers dip on TikTok, he spent a lot of the last year following his girlfriend around as she makes her OnlyFans content, continuing to make content himself, but also he's really owned the thing that he's on the down.
Right.
He's on the downward spiral.
Yeah.
He talks about it quite a lot.
They call it falling off, don't they, the kids?
Yeah. Okay.
How do you think we'll know when we've fallen off? Have we already fallen off?
I don't think you can fall much lower than where we are. Certainly where we've been. I think when
we can't fall off. We've not even gotten on
this
top
is it.
yet.
Yeah. You can't cancel us. We've got nothing to cancel. There's nothing on. We're available. No, I mean, Beavo. I'm worried about Beavo. The thing with Beavo, and the thing, as I've alluded to already, there are storylines with Beavo.
Yes.
Beavo's broke. Beavo's girlfriend has left him for HS Tiki Toki. Beavo needs shoulder surgery. He never got shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
You don't know what's real.
No.
Now, this is a sentence. I've said some bad things on this podcast. I've made some bad admissions.
Yeah.
3 or 4 episodes ago, I told you, I think, the most traumatic thing that's happened in my family about my nan and how she's a bit of an arse. Did I use the C word to describe my nan? I don't think I did.
Not on mic.
I'm not going to do that. She's a nasty piece of work. Nasty old cow. Fucking.
Oh yeah. By the way, the C word was cow.
I turned her winter fuel allowance off years ago. I broke the radiators deliberately. Fucking get rid. No, I said that. I've admitted to doing crack.
Yes, you have.
On this podcast. I'll admit something worse.
Okay.
I've watched the Beavo documentary. As a father of two, I took 28 minutes to watch the Beavo documentary. The Beavo documentary, my God.
And to give a bit more context on this, and to talk more, I suppose, about the kind of mayfly existence of the TikToker. Bivo was on the up about a year ago. He was eating stuff, but not swallowing it. Or no, not chewing it, sorry. He was definitely swallowing it. That was the point.
Chewing it.
And he was kind of a bit of a oddity, but was kind of held in a bit of, I suppose, fun. He was a fun figure in a way. He's earning loads of money, or was earning more money than he was before. Now he's kind of apparently on the decline, but it's difficult to tell, like you say, what's true and what's not. Yeah. And he references, in this documentary, things that are explicitly storylines, but at the same time, this documentary that was made about him, this 28-minute documentary called The Life of Beavo, is a kind of Louis Theroux style documentary about the fact that he's almost down and out.
Yeah, I mean, Louis Theroux style, I don't know who the kid is who made it. He's called like Isaac something. Right. He's like a YouTuber, or he's unbearable. Right. Like he's basically doing a Louis Theroux impression for the whole thing.
And the music is very Louis Theroux and everything.
The music's very Louis Theroux, and like he even sort of stands like Louis Theroux and does that kind of strange sort of vacant stare as he asks a question. Right. And he's doing that thing where he's like trying to create awkward silences, and you can tell like Bivo. There's a few points in the documentary where Bivo's so close to being like, "Can you just fucking say something?" Because the kid will be like, right, and like doing like a Theroux impression. Yeah. He'll be like, yes, okay. It doesn't seem like it's going well. And Beavo will be like, yeah, it's all right, though, isn't it, man? I guess it is what it is. And the kid will just go. But you could tell Beavo's like, just fucking talk. Just say like, stop trying to create awkward silences. Yeah. But I mean, I've got to say, I quite enjoyed the documentary. We will start with a clip from the documentary. The thing, like, the thing with Beavo. But like he's had a glow up in the sense that when we found him, he was singing Burna Boy songs in his dad's spare room. Mm-hmm. His dad was making him sweet and sour chicken from the jar. Yes, and he was just sort of singing a song in his old Arsenal shirt. Yeah, right. Now he's got his bright green Nike Tech on. He's got a big chain around his neck that says Beavo. He's got better false teeth. Yes. The skin fade, the kind of tan. He looks as well as an Essex man can look. Do you know what I mean? He's Canvey Island. Now, what's interesting in this mad interviewer guy, who, by the way, like, looks mental enough himself. Right. And I think he does stand-up, this Isaac guy, okay, but I don't care about slagging him off. He looks weirder than Beavo. Yeah, he's got, like, loads of Ed Hardy gear on and stuff. Yeah. But he also looks... He looks about 17. He's really weird. So basically, what the guy's done is, as we often do in our episodes, we'll go, right, let's start at the beginning. Let's start the story where the story began. Yeah. And what this guy's done is he said to Beavo, can you come and meet me, in Canvey Island, where you grew up and where you were making your videos. Beavo now lives up in Manchester with his OnlyFans star girlfriend. Possibly, maybe. Well, we'll get onto that. Yeah. In this clip, in this clip, they are talking about the fact that he now lives in Manchester rather than Canvey Island. And I'm 99% sure this isn't scripted, but it's so perfect as showing what Beavo's life is like and how low things are for Beavo that I'm tempted to say it's false. But let's watch it. So they're walking along the seafront at Canvey Island, Isaac and Beavo, and Beavo's talking about how life has got very strange.
I think personally I actually prefer Canvey over Manchester. Yeah.
He prefers living in his hometown.
It's more secure, you know who's who, you know everyone, whereas Manchester's a big bad city. I know there's a bit more crime. Do you know what I mean? On Canvey there is a bit of crime, but it's not as bad.
Everyone knows each other here.
That's the thing. So.
In Manchester, do you feel like there's a little bit less because you're known as well?
I don't feel we're safe, if that's what you're trying to get.
Doesn't feel safe.
Because again, I could walk out and anything could happen. So Canvey, I feel a bit more safer. I feel like I could roll around, do what I want to do. What are you doing, bro?
Someone...
So, I think we'll just pause it there.
Yeah, cheers.
Well, wait.
My phone's up!
Okay, cheers for that. Fucking little fuckers.
That is fucked. So we're getting terrorised here.
Why? Why? I'm trying to work.
Trying to work.
I'm not doing that. Yeah, but why? No, I ain't. I'm not gonna have kids. Just.
I'm
What? What?
So, for context here, they're walking along. If you're not watching, you're just
the
listening.
seafront of Canvey Island. Beavo's saying, "Yeah, I prefer living in Canvey. I wish I still lived in Canvey.
It's much safer.
It's safer. I worry that something might happen to me in Manchester, whereas it wouldn't happen here." Literally, as he says that, some kids throw things at him from the top of the seafront.
I think
he turns around and he's like, "Why? Why would you do that?"
They actually get him with a water pistol, I think. But I think this is a real testament to how bad Beavo's life has got, is that when I watched it for the first time, I was like, oh, they've spat on him. Imagine thinking, like, oh, well, obviously they spat on him. They didn't just do a water pistol at him. They've spat on him. And I thought, God, he's reacted in quite a sanguine way because he's been spat on.
Again, this is the problem with TikTokers and TikTok in general. You have to guess what's real and what's not.
Right.
I think this is real. I think that he did get attacked by children whilst walking along talking about how he feels safe in his hometown.
Yes.
Some kids attacked him and he turns around and goes, Why did you do
I'm
that?
working.
I'm working. Some fucking idiot doing an impersonation of Louis Theroux is asking me about whether I like living in Manchester.
And
that's what.
But that's so Brent as well, because what he's trying to do is create a mythology there of like, actually, Canvey still likes me and respects me. I'm safe in Canvey. Manchester's full of crime. He actually at one point says it's the big bad city.
Big bad city. Sounds like a Bugsy Malone lyric, doesn't it? Big bad city.
Big bad city. And then he gets squirted in the face with a water pistol as he's saying it's much safer here. Everyone looks after me. I'm not enjoying. Like the bloke goes. The Louis Theroux bloke goes, that's fucked.
Well, a minute later, what's so funny is like the problem with Beavo's life is it keeps going wrong, but everyone keeps noticing how wrong it's going.
Yes.
You know? The bloke says to him a minute later, he goes, the mad little Louis Theroux guy goes, you know what's really funny about that? And Beavo's like, what? And he's like, as you were saying that you feel safer in Canvey, you got attacked by some kids. And he's like, I know. His life is like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be surprised if after the interview he walked around the corner and like stepped on a rake and it flipped up and hit him in the face.
It is a very
his
exciting show
trousers
as well.
fall down and something else happens to him.
It is incredible, yeah. And I mean, I think he kind of reacts really well, because it's a horrible thing to happen. He's clearly not noticed that they're there somehow, because he's too in depth in the interview, so he's not seen this gaggle of kids armed with water pistols, and he's just like, oh, fucking hell, thanks for that.
Well, I don't think it's a water pistol. They're about 14. They're not carrying super soakers.
They got super soakers.
I think they had a bottle of water.
Did you ever have a super soaker?
Huh?
Did you ever have a super soaker?
As a boy?
Yeah.
Yes.
I never got one.
Really?
I always wanted one. Maybe that's why I'm so fixated on it now.
That's the dangerous thing. You're just going to buy a gun.
I could buy I could buy an adult super soaker, a gun.
No, I spent most of my summers on a caravan park in Kent.
Wow.
My dad worked in Dungeness, the power plant. So we'd go spend the summer on a caravan park in Kent, and I had a great big water pistol, and it was quite. The thing is, I think the reason my parents bought it for me is because this caravan park in Kent, it was a mix of like people like us who were kind of there on holiday, although I guess we were kind of more, we'd spend the whole summer holidays and then some of the other holidays there, so we were probably as close to actual residents. Then there are people who were just there for a week or so, but then there are people who lived there, there are travellers who lived there.
Right.
And I don't want to play into the, there is racism around travellers. They are also terrifying.
Right.
I remember there was this little shit. He was a traveller, and he lived in front of us with his mum. It's such a fucking like. If you were to ask like a cartoon person to like create a cartoon about what it's like living next to travellers on a caravan site, they had 2 pit bulls.
Right.
And these 2 pit bulls used to have fights in this caravan.
Wow.
And they'd throw each other around, and you'd literally see the caravan move. Where these fucking, 60-kilo dogs would just throw each other from side to side of the fucking caravan. But my mum, what we used to do in the summers is you'd put windbreakers up and almost create like a little garden between you and the caravan in front. And my mum, it's fucking horrible for me. My mum would... This kid who was in the caravan in front of us, Sonny, he was horrible. He's a traveller, this kid. And what he used to do is he like, if my mates from school would sometimes come for like a few days to stay with us in the caravan, he'd always just beat them up. He's like 5 years older than us. He just, we'd be like 9, he'd be 14.
So the Super Soaker was for self-defence?
Well, it might have been self-defence for that, or it also might have been because one day my mum was sunbathing topless and she just saw his little ginger head poking out the bedroom window watching her. The Super Soaker appeared from my dad quite quickly after that incident.
You know what to do, son. Never again.
Filled it with fucking battery acid. So I watched the documentary. He's being led around. He's being led around Canvey Island by this weird kid doing a Louis Theroux impression, right? And children are squirting water at him in his hometown, where he claims to feel safer than the big bad city of Manchester.
But the language as well. He's like actively saying like, "I don't feel safe."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like really intense language.
But it's. I think someone's knocking on the door.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
What was your name?
Jacob.
Your last name?
Hawley. Thanks.
Who's that?
That's the tech man who I borrowed a charger from. Okay. For anyone at home, we used to get disturbed by
Mango the cat.
Pregnant cats gnawing at our legs. We used to have screaming babies. I think my children have walked into an episode before.
Yeah, they have.
That was a professional tech assistant. So thank you to the Patreon.
I mean, his
Better
salary is killing us.
interruptions.
He's on 55 grand a year plus benefits.
Better
So
interruption. Yeah. A man going, "Oh, you're just fucking around in here with a laptop, are you? I'm fixing MacBooks in there."
yeah, what's going on, boy?
So, but yeah, as you say, he uses language that's like, "Wow, things are bad. Things are bad," and like
For Bivo and for the world.
I think the mistake Bivo made, and we risked this, you and I.
Yeah.
And I say this for anyone around the world where things are going good for you, when things are... Don't leave the bedroom. Don't leave. Think very carefully before you change settings.
Okay.
Tech guys walk in.
Sure. It is better than Mango walking in.
It's not as funny.
It's not as funny.
But seriously, like he used to be... Where would you see Bivo? You'd see him...
In his dad's bedroom.
In his dad's spare room.
Having a bit of dinner.
Chicken. Big up the Asians. Bit of sweet and sour chicken. Right.
That's a great impression.
Thank you. Again, completely unmonetizable.
Completely unmonetizable.
No one wants
speciality.
to pay for that. Chicken.
BBC Radio 4, get at us.
What's that shit show that Avalon remade?
Dead Ringers.
No, fuck me.
Is it an impression-based one?
Puppets, yeah.
Oh, Spitting Image.
Spitting Image. Imagine that, Spitting Image. Just like Luke Kemner doing Boris and then me going, sweet and sour, big up the Asians. Anyway, Bivo left, and he mentions in this documentary, again, I really cannot fucking stand the guy who made the documentary, the interviewer, even though it's actually a better documentary than it has any right to be.
Need to be.
The documentary maker is this really smug kind of... The thing is, like Louis Theroux, you know when Louis Theroux goes to like America and he's like, I was at the swingers party and they were all a bit strange. It's like, well, you know what? You're a internationally renowned professional journalist for the BBC, making really good... Like, you like Louis Theroux kind of has the right to look down,
be like, this is weird.
on whoever the fuck he's interviewing that week, like, I don't know, like evangelical swingers.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, you can look down on them.
Westboro Baptist Church.
When this fucking YouTuber, this Isaac HP guy who made this documentary about Beavo, when he's like looking at Beavo being like, yeah, your numbers are down, aren't they? Like, it's better than yours, you fucking prick. Like, but at one point in the documentary, this Isaac, the interviewer, he says to Bivo, he's like, look, the numbers are obviously down, aren't they? Bivo's like, yeah, I've been lazy, I need to pick it up. And I'm like, come on, Bivo, where's your fucking chutzpah? Don't take it from that weirdo. Like, Bivo should turn around to him and be like, how are your fucking numbers doing, you little loser? Who's interviewing you? But he says to Bivo, he goes, oh, well, yeah, the food stuff is people are just bored of watching you eat food. And Bivo's going, oh, no. I'm sat there going, I'm fucking not. Give him a roast potato.
Is this where this is ending up? a kind of mentorship program with you and Beavo broadcast on like Channel 4 or something, where you work with Beavo for a year to bring his content, to help him find his creative spark.
Like a celebrity fixer. I find... No, but like the guys like, yeah, everyone's bored of the food stuff. They're fucking not.
No. Well, you're not.
Bevo should have just kept going. It should have been swallow things until you choke and die. Like, just keep swallowing bigger things until... And that's the most viral... The most viral one would have been... And you finally see the dad. The dad kicks the door down, drags him out, and keeps the camera rolling. We watch him go
camera rolling.
My God!
I think we'll leave that out of the pitch to the Channel 4 executives.
But anyway, what I'm trying to say is the interview is like everyone's bored of the food. You have to try different things. In this next clip, he tries different things, but he's out of the bedroom. He's out of his comfort zone.
Yes.
The sensei has left the dojo and he's vulnerable, right? And this is what happens. He's walking around God knows which town centre. I think this
is the big bad city of Manchester.
Well, and this is how fucking well it goes.
And it's Bevo doing a vox pop TikTok with limited success.
Yeah.
Girls, listen, is TikTok a real job?
No.
Why?
No, it is, but I just don't do it. So.
Why? I'm making 40 grand a month.
He's not.
Yeah. What's stopping you from doing TikTok?
What's stopping you?
I have my own business, so I don't really need to.
Do you not promote your business on TikTok?
No, not really.
Why? What's stopping you?
It's successful as it is. So
Fair enough. I respect it. What about yourself? I'll do it. What, just confidence thing, or you just wouldn't want to do it?
What's
Fair
the
enough.
point of
All
this?
the best, thank you. Man, is TikTok a real job?
I would think so, yeah. 'Cause you do make a bit of bread on that, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, got the rollie on and got the Monclizzy on and that. Yeah. What's stopping you from doing TikTok?
To be fair, mate, I do TikTok, you know what I mean?
You
But
do.
I'm just not up there like you, man.
Well, what's your page? Shout 'em out and tell the people.
What's the page? SEBZJUSTNUTTED.
What?
Is that it? Manchester come down. You know the rules. Big up, brother. Let's blow him up. Cheers. Yeah, I know. Yeah, got the rollie on and got the Monclizzy on and.
Don't hate me. It's all fake.
Now, can I tell you my theory?
Go on.
The second one was fake.
Oh, the second interview.
The guy who he goes up to, who's like, who is like, I just wish I could be as big as you. I
Yeah.
do the TikTok, but I'm not as successful as you. That is fake. And he spells something out. It's like when he's like, tell us your handle. It's like Seb's just jizzed or something. I'm 99% sure the first one isn't faked.
What, when the girls are like,
When
please
the girl
leave us
actually
alone?
knocks him off. When the girl's like, I've got a successful business, why would I do that? Why would you fake that?
Yeah. No, it's very odd.
But here's my thing with Bevo. My thing with Bevo is, it's the problem of what you don't know what's real.
Yeah.
I can't tell whether he has become one of the biggest losers in the world and is actually very humble and very accepting of it and very funny with it.
Right.
Or whether he is actually scripting the whole thing. And I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
I think the world does keep pulling his trousers down, but what he's trying to do is pretend he wanted it to happen. And that's why he keeps creating storylines.
Where he's the mug.
In the documentary, he's like, like I'm doing this storyline that I'm broke. I think the reason he's doing that is because he might be broke. Like he says in there, he makes 40 grand a month. He does not make 40 grand a month.
No.
Like he does not make anywhere near 40 grand a month, right?
But the whole and like you say, why pivot to those storylines? I mean, firstly, we have speculated before about the idea of storylines in general because of all of this mad, outlandish stuff.
And
that happens
I
between
think
the
most
TikTokers.
of it is.
And most of it is. But like seeing the behind the curtain bit, so like the bit with the
You
kids
watched, you watched the documentary.
Yeah,
we should
yeah,
say
yeah,
as well.
I
You
watched the
it.
documentary.
The fact that fucking both of us.
Yeah, it's because I was just like,
we can
so
never
intrigued.
complain about time constraints again. We
No.
can never say we're busy for anything
No,
ever again.
ever again.
If you've spent 28 minutes watching a Bevo
28
documentary,
minutes.
you can never tell anyone you're busy ever again.
That you've lost all credibility to do that. But like I was intrigued because like you said in it, you told me like he has this bit with the kids on Canvey Island seafront, and then he talks about storylines later on. He's like, I'm doing a storyline at the moment where we've broken up, or whatever. So it's like he's acknowledging the WWE-ness of it all at one hand, but then on the other hand, the only bit that he claims isn't scripted, i.e. the kids getting in with some water with the Super Soaker, as I've famously talked about on Canvey. That's the most perfect bit of all.
Exactly.
That's the most story scripted bit of all.
Exactly. It's like Beavo cannot possibly write a storyline as perfect as the actual storyline that's happening in his life, which is that he's losing. It's going really badly for Beavo.
He's like Brent, but he's like a 20-year-old Brent who's like only been around for 6 months anyway.
Yeah. It's so Brent. I mean, like what we're going to get into now or in a moment is the fact that like he's living a Brent life. He's going around doing nightclub appearances.
Yeah.
The other half of his life is his girlfriend.
Yes.
The reason he lives in Manchester is his girlfriend, the OnlyFans star. Now, before we get into this too much, I do want to address something really fucking bleak.
Mm-hmm.
The horrible Louis Theroux. I cannot stand this guy, right? But he interviews.
In case anyone's not clear, Jacob doesn't like the guy.
I don't like him at all. And he does this like even the way he frames the interviews, right? Beavo's girlfriend is an OnlyFans girl.
Mm-hmm.
He interviews her about being an OnlyFans girl, and the way he does it is he sits on the edge of her bed while she sits on the bed that she does the OnlyFans content on, which is so creepy. And it's like, the thing is about Louis Theroux, if there's one criticism of Louis Theroux that people have, it's the way he speaks to sex workers is really like patronising and degrading.
Right.
And it's like, if you're going to do an impression of Louis Theroux, just leave out.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Do you know what I mean? They interviewed Beavo's girlfriend. She says that the reason she was just like a kind of Instagrammer influencer, kind of like Bivo before. Mm-hmm. And I think a year or two ago, another Instagrammer / influencer, I don't know who it was, they don't name the guy, he slept with Bivo's current girlfriend. Mm-hmm. I think her name's Sophia.
Yeah.
Basically, he leaked a video of him and Sophia having sex.
Yeah.
So a video went viral of Sophia, who was just an Instagrammer / influencer at the time. A video of her having sex went viral. And I guess in the same way that Beavo like creates storylines that almost match what's actually happening in his life, the girl went, well, you know what? There's a video of me out there, you know, doing sexual acts or whatever, and people are sharing it because they like it. I'm going to lean into it and become an OnlyFans star.
Right.
Which I think is quite courageous, and you go, well, that's incredibly entrepreneurial. Mm-hmm. But she does actually say in the interview on the documentary, she's like, I wouldn't have chosen to do this.
Yeah. That like when I watched that, I was just like, this is a kind of self-made documentary about Bevo that I assumed was just going to be him getting bottles chucked at him in nightclubs while he's trying to rap Freaky Friday, which we'll look at in a minute, or just like him talking about eating dinner or whatever. And then in the middle, out of nowhere, there's this story about this like piece of completely criminal behaviour that this young woman has suffered, which has forced her, or like not forced her, she chose to do it in the end. She talks about her entrepreneurial or whatever, but like she's like you said, she says I wasn't going to do OnlyFans, but then this bloke leaked this video without my consent. And then I thought, well, I may as well get into it anyway. And then this idiot who sat on her bed is like, all right, I'm back off to talk to Bevo now.
Yeah. It's like the most like troubling thing you could hear from someone working in that industry. And he's like, right, let's go see if Bevo's still doing food content. And so then like yeah.
Go on.
Well,
but I'm just going to say, like, this is the kind of we talked the first time around about Bevo about like the Faustian bargain of social media, where you can't tell what's going to happen when you start putting this stuff out into the world. And at that point, he was getting like death threats and whatever. And now it's got to the point it's even more mad. He's with this girl. He's in Manchester. She's doing OnlyFans. He's getting hit with super soakers. He lives with her. It's not clear if they're actually together. They're doing storylines.
Well, yeah. So I was sceptical of that. So I remember. So before I watched the documentary, you sent me the next clip we're going to watch.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, look, the thing is, there's a dynamic in their relationship, which is she earns a lot more money than him, and I think that's real. It means a lot of people take the mick out of him for the fact that his girlfriend makes content where she sleeps with other men.
Yes.
And I said to you, and the thing is, I like Bevo.
I'm worried about Bevo.
But I always try to think the best of Bevo. And as you allude to there's speculation about the relationship. I went, you know what? I think it's a fake relationship, and I actually think they're both really canny business people.
Yes.
And I think what's going on is he's kind of like cares little enough about his public perception and cares enough about his bank balance that essentially, rather than being in a relationship, they're like business partners.
Yeah.
And essentially what they've done
like
is
us.
They've monetised an unhealthy relationship.
Monetised an unhealthy relationship that, without the product of the monetisation, would never carry on.
The audience believes there's actual affection and love there, when in reality, two people who couldn't care less.
We're worried about Bevo. Bevo's fucking worried about us. Jesus Christ.
But I thought that it was like, they're obviously not in a relationship.
Yeah.
What it is and they're kind of monetising a kind of cuck fantasy.
Yes, yeah.
Where all of his followers will go, oh my God, Bevo's missus is sleeping with other people that aren't Bevo. I want to see it. $5.99 a month. I'm going to sign up to the OnlyFans. And I was like, that's what it is. Unless the documentary's all bollocks, which I don't think it is.
Unless he's the best actor on earth.
And they're not.
No.
They're not. So actually, it is. They are in a real relationship.
Yes.
And he is going through the pain of being with someone who makes adult content while sleeping with other men.
Yes.
And what happens is they go on the American chat show, which we're going to watch in a minute, which, by the way, fucking hell.
Mad.
These Americans are making 7-hour-long podcasts about Bevo.
But then we'll watch the clip and then we'll talk about...
Can I just quickly say, before we watch the clip, when we first discussed Bevo a year ago, we watched a clip of Bevo where he said down the camera, he went, I'm looking to make more content, I'm up for going to Basildon or Southend.
He was going
and
all,
he said,
all over.
I will do anything. I remember those words, those 4 words.
Very specifically.
I will do anything. We speculated what that might be. What's he going to do next?
Yeah.
I think we said at the end of the episode, we don't know what Bevo's going to do next.
We don't know what he's capable of.
The answer to that question is Bevo has become an internationally renowned cuckold. Bevo's become an international cuck. He's gone to America so that they can call him a cuck. Let's watch the video. Let's watch the video. He became a cuck.
But you guys are in a relationship.
Yeah, openly we sleep with other people as well, but romantically we're together, yeah.
So, you are a cuck.
Define a cuck, please.
A cuck is a person who purposely allows their women to get fucked by other men.
For money, yeah. We involve other people because it makes more money.
So you do let other men fuck your woman on purpose,
Yeah, and
right?
she lets me fuck other women.
Sure. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you would be a cuck, correct?
I just don't like that saying, but we do it.
I mean, I'm sure you don't, but I mean, that's what a cuck is somebody who lets another man purposely fuck their woman, right? That's a cuck.
Yeah, if I'm a cuck, I'm a cuck, yeah. We're young. We're probably in a better position than you was when you was 23. I just don't feel like being a slave to a religion is going to get you anywhere in life. It's good praying, it's good doing your thing, but I just want to live life, earn money and...
Yeah, I mean, it's way better to let people fuck your old lady.
I mean, we could do an hour on this clip. So, right, he then claims in the documentary that they go on this podcast and he got told to say that.
He claims that he wasn't even going to be on the podcast. He claims he was hanging around outside and they recognised him.
Which is how I got on this podcast, incidentally.
Hands up, I think that's bollocks, right? Yes. I think he was always booked to go on there. I think they booked to go on as a couple. He also claims that he knew, like, he consensually said, you can call me a cuck, because they said, we're going to pay you more money, we're going to call you a cuck and it will go viral. I think that's bollocks. Mm-hmm. I don't believe...
He's coping with that after the fact.
He's not that good an actor. He's actually been called a cuck in that clip. And the funniest thing about Bevo, do you know what I noticed about him during that clip? When he's, like, being mugged off, when he's under pressure... He has the demeanour of a football manager who's being questioned after a loss. Do you know what I mean? In the same way, I've watched Alan Pardew when he was Palace manager stand there and they go, it's another loss. Alan has gone, yeah, look, it is what it is. We're
Bevo,
doing what we've
difficult
got
day
to
today.
do.
You saw your missus get fucked by 3 different people. That can't have been what you wanted today, was it? Well, no, look, you see, obviously difficult time for the boys. We're in a difficult moment in regards to my wife getting fucked in front of my eyes. So, yeah, from that perspective, a lot of work to do.
And he's like, and look, I'm sure we're in a better position than you were when you were this age. It's like when Ten Hag is like, well, look, we've got more points this season we did last season, so look, I think we're going in the right direction, but yes, I will accept that I'm a cuck. And it's like when they say to a manager when they're like, look, things are going bad, he's like, I don't like to use that word badly.
Yeah, I love that.
Like to use the word
I don't like to
cuck.
use that word. Say, I don't like to use that word, but you are a cuck. And can we just quickly watch a couple more of the clips? Yeah.
So that if we go back onto the actual YouTube itself, this is like a few
on the same
minutes,
podcast.
This is a few minutes before that interaction. They're asking him about the dynamic of the relationship.
And just a bit of context here as well, like you say, because this is fucking mental, right? This is
so
I'd
fun.
never heard of this before. The podcast is called The Whatever Podcast. It has 4.5 million subscribers. The episode that we've taken this clip from is 7 hours long, okay? And, God, I'm fucking Mike Parry, okay? And what they seem to do, it seems to be some Christian blokes, and they get a mixture on what looks like of women with traditional values and women that do OnlyFans and Beavo in this situation. And then they just ask them quite haranguing, by the looks of things, abusive questions. I don't know who's watching this. It's live streamed. It's got thousands of comments.
We are.
Well, we're watching a clip of it. Yeah. But like, I mean
the men concerned about Bivo watching this podcast.
The Beavo Protection Society. I don't know who's watching it live, is what I mean, or watching it regularly. But anyway, this is a clip from that, and this is really interesting because, like I said, we heard about this, the lady involved's very harrowing story about this clip getting leaked. She is in character in this, I think. Well, Bevo is not.
With these 3 clips, what I'm trying to show is how they take the shit and then spin it.
Right. Make it into a storyline.
They were not paid to have Bevo called a cuck, because you can see from this bit of conversation, this is how they get into him being called a cuck.
Right.
I watched the bit leading up to what we're about to watch now. They're having a conversation around the table
Going
about
one
gender
by one.
roles.
Right.
Just about gender roles.
Okay.
They're like, if you get married, would you cook for your husband?
Who's cooking and cleaning?
And that's how they get onto this, and then this is what leads to the cuck thing. So let's just watch this.
In sickness and in health and the good and the bad.
This is one of the traditional ladies talking about it.
Whatever he wants,
She said she'll do whatever.
And if I need something, he'll do that for me. So that's...
The weird grinning Christian bloke.
Okay. Sophia, what about you?
I can't cook and I can't clean, but I can suck dick.
Oh. Yeah.
So...
I think I'm more of the wife in a relationship. I do the cooking, cleaning.
You do the cooking and
I
cleaning?
don't know, it's just calm, it's chill, I don't mind doing it.
Okay.
But I bring him on holidays and I buy him nice clothes and so on, so... Yeah.
Wait,
I have more of the masculine role.
She's the breadwinner.
Are you the breadwinner?
Yeah.
You're the breadwinner?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when she tells me to bark, I woof. Do you know what I mean? So it's a saying. Woof. Tell me to bark.
Bark.
Woof woof.
The really funny thing is, he goes, when she tells me to bark, I woof. And they all laugh, and he goes, it's a saying. But then he just does it anyway.
Not literally, obviously, although also literally.
He can't stop humiliating himself. He cannot stop. He's got like a disease where he his trousers just fall down. Something like horrendous just happens to him. He can't win in any situation, and so that went viral, right? The conversation started like this, of him going, yeah, when she says bark, I will.
Oh, it's making me feel so sad.
Then they get onto the bit where they start calling him a cuck.
Yes.
The cuck bit goes viral. The story around Bevo, unconsensually to Bevo, becomes that Bevo is a cuck. So...
A world-class cuck.
An international. He's being flown around the world to be mugged off.
That's the first time. I've heard international playboy. I've never heard international cuck.
Whoa, it's international. So what they do after that, he goes, okay, if that's the story,
That's the storyline.
If hashtag Bevo cuck is getting clicks, even though it's the most degrading thing, even though I think he looks quite uncomfortable when the guy's calling him a cuck, and he assumes the demeanour of Steve Bruce in Saudi takeover days.
What bacon did you say?
He's sweating his way through interviews because he's worried they're going to cut his fucking head off if he loses another point, right? But even though it's the worst way you could be described, the most humiliating thing, he's such a slave to the algorithm that he's like, okay, I guess that's my story. And if we can just show the next clip,
Sure.
he's now lying to make himself even more. If we just pause this, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about in this. He's lying about the fact that his partner is doing a porn scene with a man called Jason Love, who, as it turns out, is one of the most famous porn stars in America.
Right.
Now, I sound like the guiltiest man in the world because I searched him and I searched for whatever her name is, Sophia Jason Love.
Okay.
It doesn't exist. She hasn't done it.
Right.
I mean, I sound like I've made this podcast as an explanation to my missus.
So if anyone looks at my search history, that is the reason that it's there.
Why I'm searching Sophia Jason Love. No, but he's lying now.
Right.
He's made up that his missus is doing this scene with this guy.
Yeah.
To lean into the cuck thing. If we
Okay.
watch, and again, it's the whole thing of she's buying him food.
Do you know the rules? Got McDonald's again. Last day in LA. Big up LA. Big up. Getting parodied by Jason Love today. So big up Jason. Big up Sophia for paying for the breakfast. We've got. I'm supposed to get a bagel, but I don't know what the hell that is. I've got a sausage by itself and some hot cake syrup. I don't call them pancakes out here. They call it hot cakes. All right.
Still doing the
Sausage.
food.
You know, after the fucking little prick
Some
told him
hot
not.
cake syrup. I'm going to put this in a bagel because it's banging. Don't get all sticky. Like Sophia.
Oh my God.
See this babe, I hope it's going well. Don't come back with a limp. Right.
Jesus Christ.
Here we go. Big up the breakfast, big up the muckers.
Is he gonna? He's not going to chew this, is he? He never does.
It's a few chews.
Yeah, really? Sorry.
Oh, fuck that. I don't think I can watch any more of that.
Well, you don't have to.
Bagel with a sausage. 7 out of 10. Hash brown. With syrup.
No, that's enough. I can't fucking deal with
He
that.
goes on to say the hash brown is cold. I mean, again, he's trying to make a video where he leans into being a loser, and McDonald's have got his order wrong, and the hash brown is cold. It's like the world can't stop cucking people.
But and I think we've talked about this before, and I don't want to. I get a little bit like fucking pub bore about this, and it's kind of like some sociological theory. But this is WWE, right?
Yeah.
So I watched this documentary about Vince McMahon recently, which is incredible. By the way, it's on Netflix. It's really good. He would you believe it? Sex pest and pervert. Who knew? And in that they talk about this concept of heat, and it's like where you do something off the cuff, and the audience really responds to it in the moment.
So you lean in.
Yeah. And that's what he's doing with the cuck thing. And in a way, he's like the people that are good at TikTok, and probably hate just TikToking most of all, is like just a little bit of thing, a little bit of something. What is it? And then I'm going to be that thing
for a month.
Yeah.
Even if that thing is a cuck. I mean, it's really, really sad. And I think the good thing about the documentary, I think, and I don't want to credit the guy because I really cannot stand him, but they do capture that.
Yeah.
They do capture the
reality behind it.
And that neither Bevo nor the girlfriend are in control.
Yeah, that's so... Fucking hate that bell. I wish we had the old bell.
But it is, and I think I've said this on the podcast before. I did a podcast about pornography and how it's kind of pivoted to this kind of creator-led model.
Right. No middleman.
And yeah, well, no, not...
The algorithm is the middleman.
That's the problem. is you think to yourself, right, put it in the hands of the performers, of the girls. You know, it's just them in a room with a webcam. There's no seedy producer saying, do this. Oh, why don't you just do it again? Oh, no, you didn't want to do that, but we want you to. No, there's none of that.
Yeah.
Actually, there is.
There is.
And it's just numbers.
Yeah.
It's data. And you know what? It's much easier to argue with a CD producer than it is with data.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of horrific.
Yeah.
There's no, exactly as you say, they have to follow the heat.
Yeah.
She didn't want to be
an OnlyFans
girl, but she felt she had an alternative. He doesn't want to be a cuck.
No.
But he doesn't.
He doesn't get to choose.
It,
yeah.
And the numbers go up. So he has to lean in. And we're going to end. He's the nation's whipping boy.
That is.
He's the nation's
becoming his role.
He's the nation's punching bag, and not the nation's. He's Gen Z's.
Right.
This is the thing about you know how we were saying they're he's the kind of modern day Brent.
Yeah.
In terms of the actual reality, and I mean, there's a really good scene in the documentary where the interviewer goes and meets him at a Holiday Inn just before he's doing like a club appearance, I think in Ashford, at like Kent University or whatever.
Right.
You know, there's like a bit of like chitter chatter. He's like, "Oh, you're in a Holiday Inn?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing that a lot nowadays." And the guy's like, "Right," and he's like, "Obviously, it'd be nice to be at home, but you know."
Yeah, I fucking remember that bit. That bit fucking killed me.
I mean, but I do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say actually, and genuinely, I have to like if I'm really honest about the economics of my life, because I'm a bit of a slave to
add the algorithm in a way,
and unfortunately, thank you to the patrons, because genuinely, this now makes me a bit of income. I genuinely do less time in hotels now.
What if they start saying they want us to be cucks? What if the Illuminati? We start getting a flood of messages. Thanks for the hat. And by the way, could you do this? No, I wasn't going to do that. No, but I guess if... Oh, there's another message come through.
And he's in this hotel, and they go and do a nightclub appearance. And I think you compare it to, like, Brent, right? Because, like, it's like, you know... like
he's literally doing nightclub appearances.
But it's kind of... It's funny that a middle-aged man who was this loser in the office, and when I say in the office, I mean in the actual physical office itself, he was the annoying boss trying to be funny all the time. It's kind of funny that his own pursuit of fame and notoriety and being seen as a funny figure has led him to living a life in hotels and performing, you know, just stepping on stage in nightclubs. I think it's a lot sadder seeing a guy who's, 25 do it?
Yeah, younger, I
think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, hang on. You should be...
To be hanging out with your mates.
We should be in the audience of the nightclub.
Yeah.
And it's so lonely. He's been pulled out of Canvey. He's been pulled out of his dad's bedroom. He's in Manchester. He's in these hotel rooms. He doesn't feel safe in Manchester. He doesn't want to be in the hotel room. And then, like, the thing is, like, with me, when I go, like, I'll stay in Cardiff or I'll stay in Birmingham, and I don't like being in hotels. I go mental.
Right.
Oh man, I like...
Uber Eats is getting an absolute pounding.
Uber Eats gets a pounding. I used to bring the electro bongs with me and fucking lose my mind. I remember one where I got so stoned I ordered takeaway twice in the same night. And I just
same type. Two curries or
no? I think I started with curry, moved on to a burger.
Nice.
The handheld thing kind of made it okay to have in bed when the curry was had on the desk. This is the bleakest thing in the world. But do you know what makes it okay? Is when I wasn't doing that, I was on stage.
Doing what you love.
And I fucking love it.
Yeah.
And I love it. And it was worth it. And when I'm on stage, I feel powerful. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. I'm in control.
And if people don't like you on stage, it's very unlikely you're going to get water chucked at you. You're very unlikely to get super soaked.
Well,
you will get people saying that was shit or whatever, but like there's probably people that have seen me and then seen me after in the bar and gone, that was fucking rubbish. They don't tend to come up to me and squirt a bottle of water in my face.
I cannot stress enough, I'm on tour at the moment and people do like it. Okay? And I don't want to big myself up. I don't have many bad gigs.
Yes.
I have good gigs. I feel happy when I'm on stage. The problem with Bivo is it's not just that he's getting squirted with the water. The whole receptacle of liquid is being thrown at him while he's on stage.
Yeah.
If we watch the next clip, this went viral. It's him being bottled at a gig, right? This isn't from the documentary. This is
a different angle.
Yep.
It was like getting crushed.
Live footage of Beavo getting hit in the face. He's at some kind of nightclub.
He's doing
rapping.
Funky Friday, I think. Freaky Friday, whatever it's called.
Seems to be going all right, rapping along. The Gen Z people are loving it, but this is, you can't tell whether they're filming you because they think you're good or they're filming you to mug you off.
He can't really rap, bless him, either. He's just having to do something,
He's jumping up and down, he's making noise, he's getting them all going, and a bottle comes, hits him in the face. Right? Now, that's one video of him getting hit in the face with a bottle. On the documentary, completely different nightclub appearance, someone hits him with a glass while he's on stage. In the middle bit of the documentary, the interviewer says to his girlfriend, have you ever been to a nightclub appearance with Beavo? She went, yeah, it was a bit weird. Someone threw a glass at me. People won't stop throwing things at Beavo.
And I think overall, it's like, I didn't realise this would happen, but a theme of this podcast has become, would it be that bad if an asteroid hit the Earth? And when I watch this, and I think there's a kind of a sweet kid, he's not... I don't want to cast aspersions on him. He seems like a good bloke. He seems like a relatively bright lad. He's not like, do you know what I mean? He's not one sandwich short of a packed lunch.
I really like him.
He seems a likeable, normal lad.
I think he's openly vulnerable. I think he's very honest when he wants to be.
Yeah, and clearly he's got a desperate need for validation. Get in line, brother. Some of us are doing stand-up.
Well, exactly, and I'll take the mick out of... Like, I was like, his numbers are better than the fucking YouTuber. I guess he's got worse numbers than the YouTuber.
And do you reckon... maybe this is why we're worried about him, because, like, were we 10 years later... Instead of being like, I'm going to go and start doing open mics, would we, the boys in desperate need of love and validation, be eating our dinner funny on TikTok? Maybe we would.
But the kid who does... The kid who is making the documentary, he's done stand-up. He's like been in competitions and stuff, and he's gone into YouTube and instead... I mean, the thing, like, it's like, where is Bivo? He can't stop losing. Like... And it's like, if he was to watch this, say he just randomly found this, right, this episode, and he was like, oh, yeah, no, they're right, oh, shit, yeah. And then he watched you at the end being like, maybe an asteroid should just hit us, and he was like, you know what, yeah, I'm with him, I want the asteroid. And then he looked at the sky and he saw the asteroid coming, but like, finally, the asteroid's going to hit. It would miss.
It would just be a bottle.
Last minute, it would get diverted. He'd be like, oh, I can't even get a fucking asteroid. And then you know what he'd do? You know, this is why I love him. You know what he'd do? His one wish for the world to end, for it all to be over, the asteroid to hit, and it would miss. He'd do what he always does. He'd go, jeez, and just move on. And that's why I love him. Because even when he gets hit with a bottle,
can't keep him down.
Jeez, and just keep going. He, like, you can fucking... Muhammad Ali once said, it doesn't matter how hard you hit, it matters how many times you keep getting back up. And he's an international cuck. He's getting bottled every time he leaves the house.
And he keeps getting back in.
Fucking going.
Don't let the bastards grind you down. That's the one message we can give you after this week. Hopefully we'll be back here in a year talking about how Beavo's written a book. But we never know. Look after yourself out there until the asteroid comes. We'll see you next week.
God bless the rose.